Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest all the way from Uzbekistan and his name is Bulat. So let's listen his story.
Hi guys, my name is Bulat and I'm coming from Uzbekistan, from the capital called Tashkent. Thank you so much, Prashant, for having me today. I'm glad to share the stories, some information about my country, about the culture, so probably about my background and how I'm living in Japan. So yeah.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. So before we start the conversation, I would like to know about your childhood experiences back in Uzbekistan, man.
Yeah, that's so you want to know about my childhood, yeah? So basically, what we did, first of all, Uzbekistan, as you know, became independent 30 years ago. So we have different nationalities living there: Russians, Korean, Kyrgyz, Kazakh people, yeah. And basically, I'm like Kazakh, but I was born and grew up in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. So my childhood was like pretty, like fun, or full of being together with the nature. So we played soccer. Yeah, we jumped from one building to another building during the construction times. Yeah, like of some buildings. Went to the pool. We swam in lakes, rivers. And so yeah.
Yeah, man, it really sounds my childhood days actually back in India. We used to do kind of similar things, hanging on the trees and like running on the streets,
Right.
and at the same time doing all the crazy stuff that what all you mentioned. So, talking about the childhood days, education is I guess one of the most important thing. So, can you share more about your school education? How was it? Your primary, your secondary, and higher education.
Yes. So currently nowadays we have like 11 years of education. So it's divided into two. So first is primary school and then secondary school, which is like divided also to two stages. But I will tell you, in my case, at those times I only went to the primary school, which is 4 years, and the secondary school, the first stage, was 5 years. And then I decided to go, at the time it's not you decide, but it's also was implied, and you have to go to the lyceum, which is kind of 3 years of your preparation to the university. And the second choice is like to go to the college, which prepare you for a specific profession. Yeah. So, and I decided to go to the lyceum, just make my preparations to the university, where I studied, and I started to study Japanese language. Yeah. And after my graduation of the lyceum, from the lyceum, I went to the university. Yeah.
So, Lyceum.
Yes, lyceum.
So, it's kind of a higher school?
It is, yeah. It is like in a high school. It's like high school for 3 years. Still, like it's kind of secondary, education, secondary school, but the second stage. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. But nowadays they have 11 years of education. So it's like primary school, which is 4 years, secondary school, which is first stage 5 years, and secondary school second stage, which is 2 years. So in total it's like 11 years. But in my case, in my time, it was like in a primary school 4 years, secondary school first stage 5 years, and plus secondary school second stage, but 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So you choose like college, which is also 3 years, and license, which is also 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And in total it gives you like 12 years of education.
Nice, yeah. So, what kind of history you studied in your school days, man?
History. What particularly do you want to hear? About?
I mean, you studied the Soviet Union history, you studied the Uzbek history, and of course, when it comes to history, one of the major important chapter which comes is the Mughal chapter, because Babur, as you know, he was from Uzbek, and he was one of the invader who came to India. So, what kind of image you has about Babur back in Uzbekistan?
So first of all, I'm very sorry for the past actions which happened to India. We study two types of history, which is like worldwide history, and particularly Uzbek history, like history of Uzbekistan. So in the history of Uzbekistan, we cover the life of scientists, famous scientists, poets and warriors of those times who lived in Uzbekistan, somehow connected to the Uzbekistan. So if you want to talk about, if you want to ask about what I know, about the Babur, we cover like not so deep, we do not have like we do not possess much deep information when we study in the schools, but as much as I know, yes, you're right, Babur was like a kind of warrior, but at the same time he was a good poet who wrote actually his famous Babur Name, which is like kind of his biography, and also he describes about India as well in that book. To be honest, we do not study this. Like I haven't studied this in the school. His like book Babur Name, but if you want to study this, and you can do it like at the university or in the lyceums. If you want to do it, you can do it by yourself. So, but about his life, what I remember from the school, he was he was actually, you're right, he was born in Uzbekistan, particularly in Andijan. This is a city of Uzbekistan which belongs to Fergana Valley, and so I remember he became a sultan, if I'm not mistaken, at the age of 12. He started.
So back in Uzbekistan.
Yes, he started to rule, and then there was like a lot of fights at those times because Uzbekistan itself wasn't like formed, so some part of Uzbekistan belonged to one dynasty or to different not tribes, cultures, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So but at the age of 12 he became ruling, and then he started to invade other territories, and of course in his mind he had to occupy India. So but before doing this, of course, traveling from Uzbekistan, from the place where he was to India is like quite long distance, and then there is another territory which is between Uzbekistan and India. It's like Afghanistan, Kabul. So he decided to invade into Kabul. Then he started to plan to occupy India, and it took him like 15 years. So
Okay. So you study all that in your history books about Babur?
Yes, and it's school like information which is like maybe a bit limited. So they do not go so deep. So, but it's like superficial information, basic understanding what was happening there, like at those times, like with particular person or like in a country. You can find there.
And how about the Soviet Union history?
Okay, so Soviet Union history. Actually, this is like this we studied like a lot at the high school, like lyceum in my case, and we study about Stalin, then all other like presidents after Stalin, and how the Soviet Union collapsed, and also before Soviet Union, or like during when Soviet Union started to be formed, there was still like other events happening at those times. So we also covered those, which is somehow correlated to the Soviet Union as well.
So you study the Uzbek history, the Soviet Union history in your history books parallelly.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So because we were part of the Soviet Union, right?
Yes.
We have to know, and of course it depends on the teachers as well. Most of the teachers, they raise these topics. They explain to you how it was formed, what was happening those times. We studied this.
Nice. So you said your native language is Russian. So that means all your education happens in Russian language till now.
Till now, no, when I started from my primary school until the university, yeah, I went in my all the classes and education was conducted in Russian.
Mm.
Yeah, and some people can choose. You can choose and study in Uzbek, but I choose to go to the Russian school, and I decided to continue because, to be honest, the whole information, most of the information, I would say, is contained in Russian. Yeah, so let's say if you're a technician, want to be a technician, this is the most of the information which is in Russian, so you can find only in Russian. But nowadays I think a lot of like changes happening, so you can find also in, I believe, in Uzbek as well. Language,
Okay, so like you study your education in Russian and simultaneously you study Uzbek as a language and also English as a language.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so we have classes, like Uzbek language classes, where we study about Uzbek language itself, the grammar, I mean, and the structure plus the literature. Yeah, the same counts together with English. We also study like kind of grammar, structure, and the literature as well.
So do you think Uzbek language is kind of similar to Russian language?
Oh no, it's like totally different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally different. Even how it's like, so Uzbek language is first coming from Turkic language, families, like groups.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Russian is like Slovenian. So Slavic, yeah, this is Slavic. And the structure and the grammar of Uzbek is quite same as Japanese or Korean language, I would say, yeah. So which is goes like subject, object, verb, but in Russian it goes like together. It's the same structure as in English, subject, verb, object. So yeah.
That's coming from the linguistics expert. So guys, we have not delved into that topic. So basically, Bulat is specialized into linguistics. So let's talk about that topic further. So once you completed your school, you went for your undergrad, correct?
Yes.
So, and then your major was linguistics.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit more about that? How did you got into linguistics? What was the influence?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically I was recommended by my parents to pursue studying languages, and partially I can connect it like to my interest in my childhood, my school years. I watched anime, Japanese cartoons, yeah. So the time like Sailor Moon, Shaman King, all these like animes was like famous. They translated into Russian, and I just like glued into TVs and like watched them. My parents decided maybe why not to try something unique. To Uzbekistan, most of people they choose European languages or like English. My parents are like, probably why not to try like Japanese or like Chinese, yes, Far East languages. And yeah, my mom said, yeah, we found like a teacher who like teach Japanese, maybe you can try. And said, yeah, why not, so I went I started to take classes, Japanese classes, and finally I entered to the university to license first, which is also majored mainly in Japanese, and then to university, also majored in Japanese. I chose the Japanese, and the second language was Korean, and of course like English is like goes together with all other languages. It's mandatory. So yeah. So yeah.
Nice, yeah. So I guess anime was a big influencer, and plus the family.
Yeah, I would say most like in the family.
Okay. It sounds very Asian culture, man. In India, we also have a very strong family influence in terms of the person's decisions.
Right.
And I feel it's kind of a similar back in Uzbekistan for you as well.
This is yeah, in our country is like the same as in your country. You notice like, right. And my personal opinion, when you're like a kid and you're in school, you do not know like which direction you can go, yeah, and you rely on your parents' opinion that you believe that they can navigate you in the right direction. So yeah, and but still, I believe they should navigate, but not to tell you or push you to study like specific what they really want rather than what you prefer, yeah. or you want. So because yeah, it happens, right? In some families, they push their kids, and
Too much, yeah.
it's
And
not
the
only
kids. Mm.
in different countries as well. It happens. So yeah.
That's true, man. There should be a balance in between both, I believe.
Yeah, it should be.
There should be more of a dialogue rather than pushing the kid. Once you started undergraduate studies, how was it back in Uzbekistan, and how was education?
So, like the university which I went is like amazing, yeah, because you have like a native speaker, like teachers, like
Okay.
yeah, who educates you. So basically, we have like a Japanese native. So, and I really appreciate for the education those like teachers gave to us. It means a lot, and it's worth it, like to go to the school, to that university, if you particularly want to study Oriental languages. Yeah. So and it gave like a chance to go and see and study abroad, which is in Japan. You can go to China, to Korea. So
What was the name of the university?
so yeah, when I studied, it was like Tashkent State Institute of Oriental Studies. So and I believe from last year it changed to Tashkent State University of Oriental Studies. So they changed the status to the university, which is much higher. Yeah.
So is it like the Central University of Uzbekistan?
I would say like there are also like some other universities, like good universities, but this university is majoring in Far East languages, and apart from it there is also politics department, history department, and economics, I believe. So yeah, but if you want to study where native teachers will educate you there, then it's a perfect place to go there. Yeah.
Nice, yeah. So you must be one of those smart asses who studied in one of the best university in Uzbekistan.
Yeah, like it's like one of the best universities. So like all the universities in Uzbekistan, they're great, they're good. Especially right now, we have even foreign affiliated universities, like yeah, so like Westminster, like Singaporean like University of Management, then also like Turin, which is Italian, then also Inha, which is South Korean, and some other universities. So like yeah, that's now education is becoming much more innovative, and they expand their connections with other like parts of world, and they invite those universities, those like branches. Yeah, you can get amazing education, which is like comparable, and you can get the job with those like diploma worldwide.
So once you graduated, you started working in Uzbekistan?
Yes. I started to work, and I started to work as an interpreter, yeah, because translator as well.
So your Japanese was up to that level that you could start working as an interpreter back in Uzbekistan?
Yes.
So what level of Japanese language did you took? So okay, so what level JLP did you took back in Uzbekistan?
So I didn't take a JLPT at Uzbekistan. Actually, like when I was studying at the university, I tried to take when I was like second year, I tried to take JLPT N1, which is equivalent to upper.
So for how many years you worked in Uzbekistan?
For 1 year and a half. Yeah, so for 1 year and one year, almost like 1
So
year.
you're working for a Japanese company?
No, it's like a local Uzbek company,
Okay.
Uzbekistan company. So it was travel agency. Yes, but they were trying to implement in the app, travel app, functions on different languages, including Japanese.
So you were one of that guy who was creating. How was the work?
Work culture. Yeah, we do not have so much overtime work like in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, or like a culture of drinking after work with your colleagues. The one thing that we have is like 6 times a week, or like 6 days of working days in a week. So
Is it standardized?
yes.
So you just have only one day as a holiday?
Yes, which is Sunday.
Okay, so even in big corporates you work for 6 days in a week?
Yes. But like if you work in international companies, like foreign affiliated companies, yes, based on their policy, their system, you might get like 5 days working days.
Bro, do you know like now many companies are experimenting 4 days work week?
Nowadays, yeah, but like I believe so. Like how I compare actually.
Yeah.
In Japan, you work like in a 5 days in a week, right?
Yeah.
And you have like average of 2 hours or 1 hour of overtime. So if you combine and add all the for 5 days, you know, overtime work, which is gives you average like 6 or 10 hours, yeah, like average like is 8 to 10. So then it will be like one working day, which means like on a Saturday. So almost the same. But in Uzbekistan, we do not have overtime.
So you don't have a drinking culture over there. Is also because of the religious influence, because the majority religion over there is Islam.
I wouldn't say it's like only for because of religions. Yeah, majority of like Islam religion, but we just maybe we are more like family oriented. Yeah, we after work we want to go to our families, spend time with our families, or like with the friends or like with beloved ones. Yeah, we have, and yeah, we have parties like maybe on specific events, like occasions. Let's say New Year parties, yeah, or like transferring parties, like but not like every day, every working day, or at least like every week. In the end of the week, there's some of the companies they go like in Japan, but we do not have this.
Even on weekdays, Japanese companies they go for drinking sometimes.
Yeah, so they go, but yeah, we do not. But I cannot say particularly if it's like related to religion or like if there are other reasons. Probably, in my case, as I experienced and I worked with the people who mainly were into rush. Maybe also because they want to leave their like workplace as soon as possible. They do not want to see anyone because they see them like 6 days in a week. So and maybe there is another reason they want to see their families. Yeah, spend more time with the families, with their kids. So yeah.
So bro, like once you started working for 1.5 years, then you came to Japan, right?
Yes.
And you came here for masters.
Yes.
So how was the experience for masters in Japan?
Then I would say like one of the like amazing times. Yeah, first of all, this is a master degree program which you get from different professors, and another thing that is totally different major. Yeah, so in my case, if I studied linguistics and I switched into like international business, which covers like economics, like and some other like subjects. Disciplines, and also I met a lot of people, different nationalities, spent time with them, like participated on events, and like it worth it to study in Japan. You really study and you really enjoy the life in Japan, and the Soka University, the university I studied, gave me this. So it was unique experience to study.
I know you worked really hard during your school days.
Okay.
That you were working as part-time worker.
Yes.
And you used to work at night. Used to take classes.
Yes.
Then doing all your work assignments.
Yes.
And plus you were also doing an internship, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So tell us like more about tell our viewers more about your part-time experiences in Japan.
So doing part-time is like also a good experience to understand the working culture, at least somehow. Communication with Japanese people, so it's a great experience. In my case, since I studied in the daytimes, I could have time like in the nights. So basically I took Saturday nights and Sunday nights of working in part-time. I experienced like dealing with Japanese people who were very strict. They kind of always like following the rules, which is good. I respect that. But in my part-time experience, when I worked with a Japanese guy, he was like always like supportive. He was like covering me when I had like some difficulties, like Japanese, and at the same time to work and at the same time to study at the university, because it takes you like studying Japanese takes you a lot of time. Much time then. But by having like part-time and communication with Japanese people, you speed up your learning process in Japanese. So it's also good for people who wants to speed up the learning process of Japanese.
So you're studying Japanese back in Uzbekistan really helped
Yes.
in Japan, right?
Yes, it really did. Yeah. So that's why I came, and is it like you go to the interviews, boom, you got the job. Yeah, like part-time job. Yeah. Well, of course, like it depends which areas you go. Some maybe ask you to have like a specific knowledge in some areas. Yeah. But if you go to like a simple type of like work, like being a cashier, like in a McDonald's or like in a convenience stores, yeah, it's like you can get it like easily.
That's true, man.
But do not go for constructions or like it's like really tough. You will not be able to study, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, man. Because you also need physical and mental energy both
Yeah.
to study well. Bro, so you come from Tashkent, right?
Yes.
The capital of Uzbekistan.
Yes.
So there's a very famous Bollywood movie, Tashkent Files, which talks about the Lal Bahadur Shastri's conspiracy.
Okay. Yeah, I
First
heard
it.
about this. Yeah.
So Lal Bahadur Shastri was actually one of the very famous prime minister back in India. And his birthday is same as birthday with Mahatma Gandhi, 2nd October.
Okay.
And he was one of the most innovative, one of the most courageous leader, and he fought one of the major wars of India and Pakistan that time. And that guy, he went to Tashkent and suddenly he died over there. So in your books, did you study about Lal Bahadur Shastri's history?
Okay, so to be honest, no, we do not have like specific topic about the Shastri, yeah, sorry. But I heard about this movie, but I haven't watched it. Yeah. So, but as far as I know, Tashkent created an monument in memory of Shastri, and I know there was like a specific event as at those times we were like in Soviet Union, and as you told, there was like some tension between Pakistan and India, and the Soviet Union decided to make a peace and stop the war, and they decided to make it in Tashkent, to talk between Shastri and have a conversation with the Pakistani Prime Minister. After signing of this contract, on the next day, after a couple of hours, he passed away. So that's very sad to hear. Of course, we do not have too much information about this. Me personally, I do not know, but as much as I know, Tashkent, after 10 years, they decided to put them monument in memory of Shastri, right?
Okay. So that was after 10 years of his passing away.
Yes, they decided who will create this monument. Then the monument should be created by a famous sculptor. So and the sculptor maybe he was busy at those times, and so on. It took time also to create a good monument. So until now, as I heard, a lot of people who coming from India, politicians as well, they go to this monument, putting the flowers, trying to, of course, not to forget what he made for their country, which, yes, I heard that he improved a lot, the agriculture, the economics itself, and the street actually also is named by Shastri in Tashkent. So if you go and for example, if you go to Tashkent and you say to the taxi driver bring me to the Shastri, of course he'll bring you to the crosswalk because it's also related to the street. But if you want to go to the monument, you have to explain more in details by saying that the former zoo and where is the monument of Shastri. So and then exactly taxi driver.
I really admire him, man. He was one of the most humble, one of the most innovative, and at the same time one of the most courageous prime minister we ever had back in India, because he took some of the most courageous steps at that time. So I really admire him, and it's really sad that he passed away so early.
Yeah, and also as I heard, he was kind of follower of Gandhi's philosophy. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There is a very famous incident of Lal Bahadur Shastri Ji. So when India got independent, so that time he was the railway minister,
Yeah.
And during his tenure, there was one railway accident which happened,
Uh-huh.
and he took that responsibility, and he said that because it happened within his tenure, he
Yeah.
will resign from his position.
Oh.
So, being a politician,
Yeah.
every politician wants their power to continue,
That's
and no one accepts the responsibility. Rather, everyone blames on each other. But he was such a dynamic leader who took the responsibility and he resigned.
Mhm.
That's such a huge step. That means he was really dedicated towards India's development, not his development. That selfless dedication towards the country and that selfless dedication towards people. It's very rare to find amongst the leaders right now, man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like by explanation, he was like very like humanistic person, like yeah.
Exactly.
And as I told, as I also heard, he helped a lot to the economy of the India when difficult times.
Bahadur Shastri Ji.
Yeah.
Let's also not miss to talk about Nawaii, the
Yeah.
writer from Uzbekistan. We have a very beautiful statue of him in our campus, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's also how to say it represents the good communication, connection and friendship between Japan and Uzbekistan, which is also Soka University has. Yeah, the monument of Alicia Nawaii, and Alicia Nawaii is greatest poet and writer of those days, 14 15 16 centuries. Yes. And actually, according to the history, he was born in Afghanistan, Herat, Herat is a place, city, one of the Afghanistan. So and but he, a bit about his history. He was also from the childhood he was having a good education because of his family, from the high status family. Yeah. So and one of his famous educator and then became his friend was Jami. So and he had also a good friend, Bubakar, so who made him and the closest person to the king, I would say. So and to be honest, based on the history, as I could understand, he was not so much into the politics. He was more into arts. Yeah,
I would really recommend my viewers to really study about him. He's
Yeah.
one of the most celebrated and one of the most beautiful poet ever born in Uzbekistan.
Yes. So, but do you, talking about the Salk University, what's the monument of there? As I before, it's my first time when I came to Japan. I knew about that there is a monument of Alicia Nawaii in Japan, but I didn't know particular where. So I just did some research at those times, and I found it's not far from where I studied. Yeah, actually, also in Tokyo, and then I started to read. So what's the purpose of, and as Alicia Nawaii was very humanistic. He was his humanism level was very high, I would say. Yeah, and he was always spreading that people shouldn't fight, they should live in the peace and spread the kindness. Yeah. So and I believe that Soka University's philosophy
Have the
is
same
also
values.
has the same values, that being more humanistic. Yeah, do not be enemies to each other, live in kindness and in the peace.
So once you graduated from Soka University, you started working in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So how has been your work? So how has been your experience working in Japanese culture comparing to the Uzbekistan work culture?
Okay, so working in Japan is different. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, so here we have 5 days, working days in a week. Back in Uzbekistan, 6 days. But some foreign affiliated companies, they have 5 days as well. We don't have nomikais in Uzbekistan. In Japan, you have, it depends on the company again. So, but after my graduation, I went to the kind of international company. So, but I didn't find it very matching with what I really want to do. So I wanted to work more with the people. So then I switched to another, I don't know, industry, another company. So and now, yeah, I work in this. It's like foreign company, foreign culture, but it's like I love it. Yeah, we do not have like I would say nomikai. Yeah, we focused on work. We can celebrate our achievements in the company. So in general, yes, I love like working in Japan, staying in Japan. Well, Uzbekistan people like very generous. First of all, if you come to Uzbekistan, most of the people will welcome with their like white hands. Yeah, so you can come being a guest. They will serve you. They will serve food. Yeah, like drinks. And they will never judge you from which like religion you are coming from. Yeah, what job do you do, who is your parents. Yeah, you always can find the help in case you struggle to do something. Even in the streets, you're lost somewhere, especially like Uzbek people will be very glad to help the foreigners there. Yeah, that they maybe also can practice English, yeah, or some other like things. But yeah, they're very kind and generous.
So Uzbek is an amazing country to travel, yeah. I would really recommend all my viewers to visit Uzbekistan once in their life.
Yeah.
So you said you were from Kazakhstan, correct? But born in Uzbekistan. So Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, they have similar cultures?
Okay, so I'm Kazakh, but I was born and raised in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. And the culture between like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, or some others, not everyone, not each country is the same, CIS countries, yeah, but like let's say culture of Kazakh people and Kyrgyz people is almost the same, Of course they have like differences in some parts, so yeah.
But nice, yeah. I would really recommend all my viewers to really go to Uzbekistan once and really explore the culture and also the land of Aladdin over there.
Yes, exactly, and enjoy the delicious food and vegetables there. Yeah, and the meat, a lot of meat. If you love meat, you can eat like a meat made in variety ways. Yes, and different ways. So in tandoori, and under the ground. Yeah, like on the coals. Yeah.
Thanks for your time today, man. I really, really appreciate it. I wish you really good luck for all your future life journey, and I hope you enjoy your best time in Japan.
Yeah, thank you so much also, Prashant. I had amazing time, to share about my country, about the culture. So now at least all your subscribers can understand and maybe have some curiosity to study. Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, it's good opportunity for me also to share this. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, bro.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys, for listening our story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe the channel. And also don't miss our upcoming future videos. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
And also thank you so much for listening our story till now. I hope you enjoyed the Uzbekistan story so far.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the Uzbekistan stories. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, man.
Really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much also.